Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PIPCAST 3000. I'm Caedo. This is my co-host, Bad Company Sarge.
Hello there.
And this is a bi-weekly podcast where we record, every other weekend. It goes up every other Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, and we talk about open world games and largely Bethesda-based games, RPGs, that kind of stuff. So if you like those things, you might find some fun discussion conversations here. And our news topics are kind of sparse. It hasn't been a very active, besides, the game industry imploding like it kind of normally has been the last couple of years.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of things we're going to go over, and then we're going to go over a nice, relaxing, probably bad TheGamer article and take the piss and have a good time in relation to 12 things you shouldn't spend gold on in Skyrim. Mm-hmm. So that's the vibe you're probably going to get in this episode. So without further ado, let's first thank the patrons and supporters. Thank you to those supporting my channel and the main channel. I really appreciate it. And if you do, you can end up in the credits of both. And if you are extra special and are pouring way too much of your wallet into my pockets, you become like Wasteland Legend Sven, who gets a verbal acknowledgement in the videos. So thank you, Sven. Yeah, let's get on to the comment of the cast.
Mm-hmm. And this comes from, I assume it's pronounced Sparkax.
I think so.
Yeah. They say, what is the modding scene like for Starfield? Are any of the big mod makers for Skyrim and Oblivion and Fallout 3 New Vegas and 4 making any big mods for Starfield yet? Or is everyone still waiting for more players or that big hit mod? Edit to add, of course I asked for that at the start of the conversation without knowing before how much more you were both going to stay on the topic. I was just asking more generally. I don't even own the game yet, and usually at this point the mods start kicking in and giving new life to Bethesda's games. Now personally, I have not heard of any big universally embraced mods in Starfield, and I think part of that is due to the game not being as beloved as Bethesda's other games at launch. But also, I feel like Creations does muddy the waters a bit there, because that's almost another platform where people are looking at mods, and I feel like Creations almost drives people away from the standard modding sites as much, because it's all within the game itself now. You can just boot up Creations, and obviously if you're someone who's big into the modding scene, you're like, no, of course everyone still uses this. But for all the casual players, which there are billions of out there,
and console players,
console players as well, Creations are now the thing to focus on. So I'm guessing there are Creations which are quite big, but yeah, I don't know too much about big Starfield mods.
Yeah, me neither. There was the fleet one. I remember that getting kind of a shout out, where you can literally command your own fleet and set your crew on other ships where they could help you in combat, similar to how enemies travel in small fleets.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which conceptually was cool, but it was just the space part of Starfield, or the ship travel and combat, still feels like just a small part of the game. I mean, to me, I guess.
Technically, it's a few games they tried to make in one, and they all feel quite separated from each other.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. There's not the kind of smooth transition between outpost building, wandering around and exploring, and travelling on your ship. They all do feel quite separate systems.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wish they were a bit more interconnected. I remember when we first saw Starfield and we talked about, you can be flying through space and then you'll get attacked and all of that stuff. I was like, oh, cool, we'll have people, boarding our ships, so we'll start out in a dogfight and then you'll get up and people will have made it aboard and, all the high hopes and stuff we have before a game actually comes out.
Yep.
I have heard of a couple of good mods as well. One I particularly enjoyed the sound of was something I was saying should have been a thing, which was basically it costs you to jump between planets. It uses fuel basically, and that is a mod to make it.
Also, it reintegrates the fuel system that
Yeah.
they were going to go with, but they decided not to.
Yeah, they decided not to, and now your ship is basically a fast travel machine that sometimes has to do the little space battles
Or sometimes needs better parts to, like, you know.
Yeah. Or you just pay a bunch of credits in order to be able to fast travel a bit further.
Yeah. In the trending on Nexus, I'm not seeing too many things. Like, some of these are just really specific, like, cosmetic things. I think the funniest one is neon landing marker realignment.
Yep. Just
a simple fix, rotating the ship landing marker 90, 180, or 270 degrees in neon. You got options too.
Woo.
It's great.
Yeah.
But just looking, there are some, like, character customization ones, obviously, too. Like, that's where a lot of mods end up being categorically, like living eyes, natural hair colors, no more dead-eyed crowd NPCs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, none of these are like overhaul things, like things we would expect in.
Yeah. Like, you have the big unofficial balance patches, or the whole, here's a whole new section of content, or, like, we brought in a huge, just big storyline and stuff. It's,
yeah. And that comes in, like, a couple of parts. Like, you need people that are actually excited to mod Starfield, which is probably takes a long, which is multiple people if you're doing an overhaul mod. You need multiple people who are excited for Starfield, and you need to work with the weird systems that it has, because I know that was a huge complaint from the modding community too, was like how much stuff was procedural, a lot of people just gave up immediately.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. And third, also time. That we had tons of time to wait for some of these overhaul mods, and some of them are still not out yet. For Bethesda games that have released 14 years ago. So because mod authors generally are still, doing this for free. So, unless they're making creations and charging for them.
Yeah. Probably also makes it a little less clear-cut on what the best and most popular mods are. Because it did used to be just it costs nothing thing, and now there are paid mods and free mods, and that's immediately going to split the amount of people on them and stuff. So
and then
it's
like once money enters the scene too, like, I mean, we're creators too, like we understand this too, is once money starts getting involved, things can get like just shoved out just for money's sake, as opposed to loving the craft. So
dude, so often I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make an entire series, and I'm gonna be very public about, like, I am just doing this, or I like pre-record a bunch of stuff specifically because I'm like, this isn't gonna perform well, but I want to do it and think it is worthwhile both making and being watched, even with a small audience, and like then I just have to force myself into it.
That's the majority of what I make now. Like, both of our incomes are dropping pretty significantly, and we can probably blame, Google/YouTube investing so heavily in Gen AI. And also, the shorts being pushed so aggressively. And I'll be able to talk more on that later.
We're also both essentially Bethesda tubers, thanks to how YouTube also tries to push you into a niche.
Yep.
And despite both of us technically being variety creators, we both have felt no, you cover Bethesda games, and as you may be able to tell from our not great talk about Starfield, Bethesda's not made anything with a huge audience like it did back in the Skyrim and Fallout 4 days.
Yeah. I don't know, I don't have hope, really, for the final DLC for Starfield. Because Shattered Space was doo-doo butts. Like, I did not have a good time playing it and or trying to find something to cover on it.
Yeah, I made it like spoilers, halfway through and then gave up. Yeah, I remember the new guns being good. That's a positive thing I had for it.
Some of the new guns were cool.
Yep.
But there were so few things for me to be like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like, maybe less than counting on one hand how many things I felt that way about, which sucks.
Yeah,
which was probably just all of the set piece things and nothing to do with the actual like story at all.
Yeah, I tuned out of that story so hard. I'm not one of those people who goes after Emil Pagliarulo, because I do think he is over-hated. even with me now allowed to criticize Starfield story content and stuff. But I do think Starfield somehow manages to be one of the most bland sci-fi universes ever created, which is wild, because you can see so many spots of inspiration from more interesting and exciting stuff. Like Neon City is obviously based on Cyberpunk, and with the whole United Colonies and Freestar Collective, that feels very Firefly, and that whole thing where you get the space western style of it, like
space, yeah,
spice, yeah. Like there's clearly so much cool influence going on, and then they just didn't really do anything.
And
with
then they
it.
just have normal crap going on, like stuff that we've seen beaten to death story-wise.
Yeah. It's like humanity is just so basic and boring, and has no flavor.
I experienced whiplash when all of the gang stuff, like the gang activity stuff, quests that you do for Neon, was all surface level. Like there was nothing going on in the background. Like this gang is like the baddest boys in the world. Like they were doing like a comical level of posturing, and I was just like, oh, these guys are ironically badass. No, they're not. They're actually they're actually written to be badasses, but their voice lines are so cheesy that I got fooled into thinking it was otherwise. Yeah. And then, of course, like the Neon police force is corrupt, and they're like, "Oh, why don't you work for us?" And then just blah.
Yeah. I feel like Starfield needed it needed M. Night Shyamalan to come in and just add twists to everything. And at least that would, even if they didn't stick with all of them, at least that would then have got them to think, oh, maybe we shouldn't just do the most basic sci-fi story which everyone's already seen before.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I know some of the inspirations were from Star Trek, but they lacked all of the cool Star Trek things, too. But minus maybe the Terramorph, maybe.
You know what, that is fair. I do think Terramorphs are cool.
Yeah, Terramorphs are cool, and the mystery of their hallucination kind of like psychic thing that they do, like that's pretty cool. Yeah, but we didn't learn much more about that.
Yeah, you've kind of hit the big issue with them on the head there, which is, oh, that's kind of cool, and then nothing happens.
And then nothing happens.
Which is kind of Starfield's motto. Whenever something vaguely interesting does pop up, then they're just like, yep, that's the end of it. Oh, you've just done a big battle, and now the Crimson Fleet are on the run. Let's call things fair. Let's just have nothing else going after. You've discovered that there's this big thing which may be the solution and cure everything, but there could be deadly consequences. Let's not worry about it anymore. That's the end of the entire questline. It will never come up again. And it's like, come on, just something, please.
Yeah. You can. Well, Sparkax, you asked a good question.
Yes, very good question.
Or left a good comment and asked a good question, because we can rant about Starfield all day.
You really can.
But main thing is, if you want our suggestions, mine would be just wait longer, like wait until the final Starfield DLC, maybe check some reviews and stuff like that, see if it's actually for you. But if you're looking into modding stuff, like I would go back to the old faithfuls and just start another run, because we're probably going to be waiting a while, especially since the motivation for a lot of people doesn't seem to be there for Starfield as opposed to the other Bethesda games. So that'd be my suggestion.
But you know, a sci-fi game which actually tries to do something unique and feels special and different
is it Warframe?
It is Warframe. Yeah, Warframe is like spacey sci-fi bodysuits that allow you to sprint around and slide and shoot super fast and do really weird. Warframe is something that I struggle to describe, because I feel like it is one of the most, not even visual, it's one of those games that you really need to play and play for a while to get it, because it seems insanely fast and with so much going on. Third-person action game Space Ninjas. Yeah, Space Ninja's quite good.
That's largely how I describe it.
Yes, Space Ninja, but remove the stealth and add an engine to your back. And that's kind of how it plays.
You can still be stealthy, weirdly enough.
Oh, really? I mean, I never bothered because I was moving at 100 miles per hour.
You don't need to, but yeah, you can still be stealthy. There are at least a couple of frames that can actually cloak, so, you know.
I know you mean frames as in the Warframes which your character wears, but in my brain it's frames as in video frames, so like for 2 frames out of an entire movie there's some stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple stealth frames. They don't drop, they just go stealthy.
Yeah. Well, Warframe's very cool, and a lot more people are realizing that it's this very cool, weird, I'm pretty sure, like, free-to-play... Is it still free-to-play, Warframe?
Yeah.
Yeah, free-to-play game. Caedo?
What?
You started saying something but stopped.
No, sorry, I was disagreeing. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, considering the last episode there was like a power cut and stuff on my end, I was very concerned. But yeah, Warframe's cool, and a lot of people have realised that, because with Destiny 2 kind of being done, it's basically just been announced that Destiny 2's got nothing else coming, it's gonna just stop being worked on. Like, a lot of people are starting to migrate away from that game, and now move towards Warframe as their sci-fi shooter. And Warframe's just seeing a just huge player count increase as this keeps going on. And like, even I've noticed, like, a few people I follow on TikTok, like gaming creators, have started throwing Warframe into just games they play casually a bit more now. And it seems to be getting quite a lot of publicity, which is wild, seeing as it's a very old game, technically.
It is.
I'm actually going to check now when it first came out.
I think it was like 2012, 2010, 2011?
Possibly. First released in, March of 2013, apparently, which is slightly later.
2013.
But it's still 13 years it's been going on for.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and God, when would I have played it? I probably played it like 8 or 9 years ago.
Oh, wow,
It's been quite a while.
So it won't be the same game. Like,
no.
That's because they retroactively, like, change, like, more archaic mechanics and archaic systems to streamline it more. You know, kind of like the movement systems.
Yeah. I mean, the movement system was pretty good when I got on there. I think I jumped on once there'd been, like, a bunch of changes that sounded good. Also, like, I'm not sure if this is the case, but a previous co-host of the PIPCAST and friend of the channel and stuff, Tony Moe, used to cover Titanfall, and I don't know if he covered Warframe at all as well, but it's that sort of same movement style. Like, when you got really good at Titanfall 2, you'd just be, like, sliding and double jumping and grappling hook to get more speed and doing all that build-up. And I saw the same sort of thing for Warframe and was like, yeah, I want to give this a try, because it looks very cool. I love a good movement shooter.
Before they did their... I remember specifically that before they did their Parkour 2.0 thing, they had this thing called helicoptering. Where it was a slide and attack animation with your melee move. So if you had, I think it's if you had like smaller melee weapons or like a sword or something like that, you could slide, then spin attack, and then fly across the map. But now you can just kind of do that innately because of the adjustments they made and wanted to make it available to kind of everybody. It's just like, how far you go is determined by like your movement speed on both the Warframe you're using and the mods you're installing on that Warframe. Yeah. So it could be your weapon attack speed too. I don't know. It's been a while, but it has one of your favorite mechanics, Sarge, wall running.
Yes. It's very cool.
That you can do. Yeah. Yeah. I get excited and nostalgic like talking about it too, because it is like one of those games I really don't have much bad to talk about. Like, some people like don't like the grind, but I mean, it's a free to play game. You can't expect everything, but the fact that they are still like content first when it comes to like doing stuff for the community, and the fact that they communicate with their community often, they have their own convention that people freaking love. Like, so much stuff is just working in their favor year after year. And Digital Extremes is like one of the very few like big gaming things that exists that seems to just be doing things right.
Yeah, like, I mean, they've done something which so many companies struggle with, which is they figured out what to do, like how to do it and everything. They figured out what works, and a lot of that is, oh hey, we've got this free-to-play multiplayer game which does need microtransactions to survive. And rather than going like, let's just sit on it and let people hopefully pay a subscription or something and keep paying that way, or let's make it so we're constantly shoving microtransactions in the face and you have to buy it, you can't grind for it. They're just like, no, we've made a really good game. People who want to spend money will spend money, and we're just going to keep on adding updates and improving the game. Like, there seems to be an average of like half a dozen updates a year, which is...
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Pretty wild. Yeah. Like, Starfield has not had half a dozen major updates in the 3 years it's
sure hasn't.
Like, and a lot of games as well will only get like 1 or 2 big updates, even if they are multiplayer sort of games. And yeah, they've done it right, and it seems very simple when you're someone who knows about the gaming space, knows what players tend to want and stuff, but so often companies will try and squeeze out a bit more money or try and take a few shortcuts or just decide to take a different direction with it. But they've just kind of stuck with what they do well and just made it so it's a good experience for the players, and because it's a good experience, it's profitable, because people are happy to pay money if they're playing for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'll pay a $5 for this skin. Like, and then suddenly Digital Extremes are doing well, because there's thousands of people who think like that.
Yeah, and they, before creations were a thing that Bethesda was doing, like, Digital Extremes was already doing it with fan-created, like, skins for the Warframes and stuff like that, and then they would give a cut to that artist for the skins that were sold. So like even that system was just done cleanly, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's not a mess. What is happening? I'm just constantly impressed by Digital Extremes and Warframe as a whole. And I mean, like you were saying, the game doesn't look like anything else like that we have. Like, it's got a very, very specific art style that like immediately. Like, if you've seen anything like art-wise for Warframe, you're just like, oh, it's Warframe. And that's, a point in its favor too, I suppose. And if you like, voluptuous bodies, there's plenty of that too.
I mean, I think every single Warframe has been firsted over.
Yes.
Just regardless.
Yes. I agree.
Like, there's a Warframe for every person.
There is. Every typecast you got, that they've been making frames for years. There's a lot of them. Yeah, but I still like, man, Nidus is still my favorite. He's like the infested Warframe, where he like stacks
the names of any of them.
he stacks his armor based on his kills. So like, it's either armor or health. Like, he doesn't have a shield at all.
But basically becomes tougher the more killing you do.
Yeah,
Literally,
and does more damage.
The best defense is a good offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was probably my favorite, but that was years ago. That was many years ago now. I haven't played for so long. Probably since I worked security, which was, like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago.
Quite some time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want something to try, and something that's given the love that it deserves, even as a free-to-play game, Warframe is cool. And if you're looking for something to help that Destiny 2 crater that is left behind, if you were a Destiny 2 player, give Warframe a shot. It's on most things, I'm pretty sure.
I think it recently came to Switch 2.
Yeah.
So
so you can pretty much play it on anything. Yeah.
But you know what else you can pretty much play on anything now? Doom. Morrowind. This isn't a Doom playing on a
Doom. You can play Doom on Morrowind.
Yeah, probably. Recently there's been I was about to call it a mod. Like, not quite a mod. A Morrowind thing happening. Why don't you explain it, Caedo?
Okay. let's call it a conversion. So I guess it is a mod because it's a conversion to work on something else that it wasn't meant to initially.
Mm-hmm.
So, Open MW, which is the I guess retooled version of Morrowind that a lot of people recommend when you go to play Morrowind, because it is set up to be, you know, played on modern machines. It's got probably some quality of life stuff in there too. But there was an individual named Dumpster Buddy on Reddit who decided to get Morrowind running on browser. Yeah. So they connected OpenMW so far, or compiled it to WebAssembly. This is language that I'm not very well versed in. And quote, so the whole game runs in a browser tab now. You open a link and you're standing in Satanin. No install, no launcher. I just think that's awesome that you can play Morrowind in a browser if you want to, and not worry about any of the extra tinkering you would probably have to do otherwise if you're installing it, you know, fresh on your own machine and then having to install OpenMW or, like, you know, any other quality of life type things that you would want.
I mean, this is a game where you're probably going to want to install stuff as well, because I know just the handful of times I've played it crashes a lot. Like, having it just run normally is not something that occurs with Morrowind on its own.
Yeah, and there was an extra detail in here that this is not a stream and not an emulator. It's running directly through your browser. Yeah. But it means you also have to have the actual game yourself, because it'll be pulling from those files to play it. So so that part is still, like, it's not piracy, because it still needs you to have the game files installed. It's like having Tale of Two Wastelands. Like, you have to have both games for it to work. But I just think this is cool, and for those who obviously don't have the patience, or if you have a Mac, not a MacBook, a Chromebook for whatever reason, bless you, and here you go. You can play Morrowind on it, probably, because at least it seems like you can also plug it into, you can plug it into it, put it in a USB stick and play it that way too. Like, kind of how I used to in business class, where I was playing emulators instead of doing my work. I just have it running from the USB, and it was a lot of fun. So, I'm not saying you should avoid your classwork and play Morrowind, but
you could.
But you could.
In theory, you could.
In theory, you could.
If you're anything like me, you'll get so frustrated with the roll-to-hit mechanic of Morrowind that you'll go back to the classwork and it'll seem so much better in comparison.
Because you won't be rolling to hit the keyboard?
Yeah, it's like you don't have to roll to hit to listen to your teacher. You have to roll to hit if you want to hit a rat with an axe. Ugh.
Yes.
I'm never going to finish Morrowind.
Just start with a good primary weapon skill and use that weapon. That's what I recommend.
Still miss. Some of us are young, Caedo. We didn't grow up with video games that when we hit the enemy, they didn't get hit. Some of us are used to physically seeing the thing happen and it happening, because that's what happened.
I know, but I've been broken down by XCOM. That's what happened to me.
Fair enough.
So, you know.
Oh, I'm actually going to talk about an XCOM-like game later on. Yeah. So find out if I have positive or negative things to say about it by sticking around with the PIPCAST.
Oh!
First off, though, let's talk about Skyrim.
Yeah! We haven't beaten this horse to death. No, we haven't.
Somehow not.
I'm sticking by horse-centric commentary.
Yeah, Caedo has left, like, I think the past 4 episodes of my challenge run over on the second channel, Bad Company Gaming, he's just typed, like, horse 2, horse 3, just nothing but horse-related comments. Yep. And I've also been in a foul mood this week, so I've not had any good jokes to type back on them. I've just been like, yes, Caedo, horse. That's about as
My most
much
recent one was
enthusiasm
horse
as
fall
I can
down.
get.
Can you guess what happened?
Did my horse fall down, Caedo?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that does actually tell me roughly where we are in my series focus. I've lost track. It's a problem with
Horse did
scheduling
fall
ahead.
down.
Yeah,
Yep.
I finally died while going down the mountain. It took me a while, but
It was a couple times, though. It was funny.
yeah, I get more and more frustrated dealing with High Hrothgar on survival mode the longer the main quest goes on.
Yeah.
The main quest was so not designed with survival mode in mind.
No.
Because so often it's like, climb this giant mountain that gets freezing at the top. And it's like, you have to do that like 15 times. It's just like, no. This is... Obviously it was designed with, oh, I can just fast travel, but you can't in survival mode.
Yep. But there's a certain horse that I'm gonna get that will protect you no matter how far you fall. So that's gonna be happening in my playthrough when I go see the Greybeards for the first time.
Let's get on to the Gamer article, which is things you should never spend your gold on. It starts with, Skyrim is Bethesda's open-world RPG masterpiece. It has been around for over a decade and still has tons of fans who are playing to this day. And this is still true several years after this article was last updated, which was 2023.
Yes.
There are plenty of relatable things every player does in Skyrim, but there are also many things you shouldn't do, and most of them involve money. While you'll have more gold than you'll know what to do with come endgame, it's best to be more frugal with your coins in the early game and focus on the essentials. These are the things you should never spend your gold on in Skyrim. I was seconds away from really, really complimenting the whole, oh, best to be frugal in the early game, you'll have more gold than what you know to do with in the end game, and here are things you should never spend your gold on. It's like, conflicting messages there.
This is an only Sith deal in absolutes kind of situation.
Yeah, they start to clarify and be, and I'm perfectly fine with this list being like, hey, in the early game, don't waste your money on this stuff. I think that is a much more helpful and interesting list. But then they're like, oh, you have tons of money in the end, but don't spend it. But then on top of that, we have the like updated by Gabrielle Houston on March 20th, 2023, where they say, gold can be hard to come by in Skyrim unless you're using mods or getting it in unsavory ways. You'll want to know what to spend your money on, especially if you're a beginner. We've updated this article with new tips. And
I would argue some potions are savory.
Yeah.
And you don't want to drink them, you'd want to sell them.
Yeah, there's a lot of fairly savoury ways to get it. Like, I'm not sure what they mean by unsavoury ways so much. Because fair enough, mods and console commands and stuff like that. Maybe they're talking about console commands there.
Killing, stealing.
Yeah.
Those can
honestly,
be unsavory.
Yeah, those aren't the best ways to make money, though, either. Like,
they aren't.
You can just make a lot of gold through the crafting system, especially alchemy, and then later on enchanting. The smithing's not great for it, but crafting jewelry can get you quite a bit of cash.
Yeah, smithing is more of a springboard.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of my character's income is coming from jewelry just because I'm not enchanting things at all in my playthrough, for obvious reasons.
I found it very difficult just to gather enough soul gems, because I was originally going to do a bunch of enchanting on my bows only character, and then it was like, cool, I've got like 7 filled soul gems, and I was like, okay, that's nothing. I guess I'm not going to worry so much about enchanting.
Yeah, I got to go through some Dwemer ruins and buy up the filled ones from court wizards.
That's the thing. Enchanting can be very expensive. You need a lot of capital to get into the enchanting game. Whereas alchemy, the plants are literally on the ground in front of you.
Yeah, and you can plant more.
Yeah. It's
which
wild.
Is outrageous.
And you can have the farm in Anniversary Edition, where you can both plant tons of stuff and get paid just for having it planted.
It's so ridiculous.
It's
I'm
money.
not using the Golden Hills plantation.
That's
on
fair.
Purpose.
Yeah, I understand that. I can't help it. As someone who loves alchemy as well, it's too much to pass up on.
It's got the most planting or planter spots in it. Yeah, and it just generates money. It's ridiculous.
It's wild, but now we've made it clear how easy it is to make money. Why don't you take the first entry on something not to spend that money on?
Things you should never spend your gold on. Number 12, horses. Horses. While horses are a great way to get around Skyrim, they're incredibly expensive in the early game. It will cost you 1,000 gold to buy a horse, which is not worth it at all. It's a better idea to save your money and put it towards better weapons and gear. If you really want to get a horse, you can get a free one. North of Windhelm and south of Bleak Coast Cave is the Horker Hunter's Camp. There you'll find a dapple gray horse that you can mount, and it won't be considered stolen. It's worth the long trip north. Well,
No, it's not.
it's... Nope.
There are other ways to get horses that aren't stolen. They're specifically borrowed horses, and the flaw with them is, if you're playing like outside of survival mode and stuff, then what normally happens is you fast travel and your horse fast travels with you, but if it's a borrowed horse, it will start slowly making its way back to where it was before. So borrowed horses can kind of wander off.
Yep.
So there is still an advantage to paying for a horse, because that actually sticks where you left it kind of thing. Also, like, I do understand the whole 1,000 gold can be quite a bit in the very early game. Like, and if you're a beginner as well, you've probably not got a ton of money, so fair enough, £1,000 is a lot to drop. Especially, the thing they've not pointed out is your horse can die.
Yep.
Like, you can lose your investment, basically. And that would be an actual strong and decent counter-argument to buying a horse, which they failed to do in their argument to not buy a horse. But also, I bought so many horses. As a Skyrim veteran, I'm like, yes, I will pay 1,000 gold to buy a horse. I don't know if I've reached the point in the episodes that have come out, but I'm pretty sure I end up buying like 5 or 6 horses in the Bows Only challenge run.
You have a lot of horses.
Yeah, at times it's just like, oh, I can't see my horse, I'll just drop £1,000 on a new one. Because it's so much more convenient and it's going to save me a ton of time.
And this is where all the horse comments came from.
Yeah. Once I hit a certain level of money, it was like, okay, £1,000 isn't that big a deal. It's like one trip to the city to sell stuff. Because you empty out 2 basic vendors of their cash and you've got £1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And like, a lot of vendors have more than 500 gold as well. Like, yeah, horses, they could have made some better arguments there, but them arguing that you should put it towards better weapons and gear, I go strongly against as well. Because I feel like most equipment is very expensive. Like, maybe if you're going for unenchanted, it's a bit cheaper, but equipment's going to cost you way more than £1,000 if you're upgrading that. And you're going to want to keep on upgrading that. Like, horses in Skyrim are just a horse for the most part. It's not like you get better horses by shopping somewhere else. There's a couple of exceptions with, like, unique horses. But
yeah,
those
ones
literally...
are even, like, quest investment, not...
Yeah.
monetary investment.
And in the base game, those are literally a couple of horses.
Yes.
Like, and even in Anniversary Edition, it's like... I suppose there's the map of wild horses, which is quite a good investment, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's like still fewer than 10 in total, I want to say. Like, maybe it just about hits double digits. It's not a lot of horses. And spending the money on weapons and armour, which you're going to be finding out and about anyway... I disagree with this.
Yeah, same. I think it might be actually close to exactly 10.
I was trying to calculate in my head, but I can't remember exactly
in Anniversary,
how many there are.
Because the map of horses does not include the unicorn.
See, that was tripping me up quite a bit. I can't remember if that was in there.
It doesn't include the unicorn, and the map already includes, like,
I'm pretty sure it's half a dozen. Yeah, it's half a dozen, plus unicorn, plus the 2 in the base game, plus the dwarven horse would be
plus
10.
The dwarven horse, plus the Daedric horse.
Oh, wait, is the Daedric horse if you got the fancy edition? No, I'm thinking of Oblivion Remastered there.
Yeah,
Where's
this
the
one's...
Daedric horse from?
The Cause. It's the level locked quest. You gotta be at 46 to get it, so not everybody's gonna...
Yeah.
I mean, not every Sarge is gonna play that long, so...
No.
You know.
I think I technically did that once when Anniversary Edition first came out, and I can't even remember it. Like, it's you go to the Daedric Realm, right?
Yeah, you go to Oblivion.
It's basically just playing for Oblivion again, and I think the fact that since Anniversary Edition released, we also had Oblivion Remastered, it's kind of overwritten it in my memory.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it involves going to a Ayleid ruin too, and you get the big Welkin stone.
Which is just Oblivion. They put Oblivion into Skyrim.
It's just Oblivion.
And then Oblivion Remastered came out.
They put Oblivion assets in Skyrim, which to me was, I did get excited for modders, because that means they would have, those tiles to work with. So I thought that was cool, but
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, lots of horses. You could get horses for free if you spend a little extra time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you're not playing in survival mode like we are, then you don't most of the time don't have to worry about horses anyway.
Yeah. Like, you generally don't need to. They do give you essentially infinite carry weight, which can be helpful at times.
They do.
And
yes.
I'm actually a bit of a defender of mounted combat in Skyrim as well. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like this amazing thing, but it can be fun to play around with.
Yeah.
And you do miss out on that if you never get a horse. Now let's move on to number 11 on the list of things not to spend gold on, which is training. There are plenty of trainers in Skyrim that will increase your level in one skill for a price. You can only use a trainer 5 times per level, and they will become incrementally more expensive as you level up that specific skill. Depending on their proficiency, they can train you in a skill up to level 50, 75, or 90. These trainers are not worth the money, and for a simple exploit, you can save a bunch of gold while still leveling up skills. There are 7 trainers in the game who can also become followers. By making them a follower and getting trained, you can simply trade with them afterwards to get your money back. It's brilliant.
Is it? Because you need the gold to do it still.
You do still need the gold to do it, but it's a bit more reasonable doing it that way. I mean, to be fair, I did it with Faendal, and it's one of those, like, borderline exploit cases where I'm like, well, it kind of does make sense because they are your follower and they are a skill trainer, so it...
We're friends now. You train me for free.
Yeah, I almost wish there had been something implemented. I'm sure there's already a mod for this, but, like, you can maybe train once per day with your follower skill trainer. I feel like that would be a bit more immersive.
That would be more, yeah.
Yeah, of course, outside of survival mode, people would then just train, wait 24 hours, train again, wait 24 hours.
Yeah.
We know that's what Skyrim players would do. But I think this is another one where we both disagree with it, just fundamentally.
I do, yeah. Because there are some situations where you've... me fairly often, and I know Sarge will readily get on my case about it, is like spreading skills too thin and then needing to adjust it in the favor of a skill that'll actually help me. And that's what I use skill trainers for. I'm just like, oh, I'm getting one shot by dudes with two-handers. Maybe I should invest in an armor skill a little bit more, and also, pump HP in my level ups.
Yeah.
And a fast way to do that is to go find, who's it, Vilcus or Farkas, one of the dudes. To train heavy armor, or Grelka in Riften.
And she's light armor, right?
Yeah, she's light armor, and she's a general merchant, so you can sell her anything to get your money back.
Oh yeah, the trainers who are merchants are great as well.
Yeah, the alchemy lady in Whiterun is like, I abuse that all the time with her.
Yeah. As I know there's as a person who plays a lot of Skyrim, Major Slack, I'm sure many listeners will be aware of him, and he does like legendary difficulty walkthroughs, and spoilers for basically all of his walkthroughs. It's he plays on legendary difficulty, levels up speech skill a whole bunch, gets Brevin Sadri? Is that his name? It's the speech trainer / merchant in Windhelm. Basically uses that to get speech up a bunch so that he can get like the merchant perk, which lets you sell any type of item, and then you can just sell like a bunch of potions to even like blacksmithing trainers who are also merchants, or heavy armor trainers who are also merchants, or anything like that. And then you just use that system. You basically avoid combat for the first 10 to 15 hours of playtime
by just training martial skills with potions.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you just trade a bunch of potions or enchanted items or whatever for skill training, and then you can suddenly take on legendary difficulty. But even just playing casually, like, up until level 50, skill training costs you hundreds of gold, which is still a fair amount. Like, it is heavy investment, but it's to make you better at a chosen skill that you want to get better at. And some skills are a right pain to level up as well.
That's true.
I find alchemy to be like the easiest skill to level up, so I don't really need a skill trainer for that. But stuff like destruction,
it takes time.
It's a nightmare. Like, even if you're following Caedo's very good guide on how to level up all of the skills properly, you'll still find that destruction is significantly slower than
And
most of the
I mean,
others.
even in my ultimate leveling guide, I'm pretty sure I put enchanting before all of the magic skills, because reduced magicka cost is like the main thing you need to do. Otherwise, you're just going to be like hitting the wait button and or chugging a whole bunch of magicka potions. Where I'd rather just avoid that entirely and, say like get enchanted gear that reduces cost. It's much quicker and easier. But even so, like, Fire Rune is like one of the strongest or fastest ways to level it, and it's still not fast. Like, it takes a while.
Yeah, it's not like the several of the skills like the crafting ones or sneak or even lockpicking and stuff where you basically use the skill once and it fully levels up in a low level. It's like, no, you have to spend like an hour in combat and then you'll see a few level ups on destruction.
Yeah, but pickpocketing is absurd. You can level it so absurdly fast compared to everything else too.
Yeah. You can also pickpocket skill trainers, which isn't mentioned here in the exploit thing.
You can, like, and guards that you bribe, which I did in my playthrough too.
I mean, I never bother bribing.
Like,
but
it's because I keep picking the moss that's in the Blue Palace on reflex, and the guard's like, stop right there, and I'm like, dang it.
Which annoying thing as well, in Solitude in the Catacombs, there's also hanging moss that is marked as steel, but isn't actually flagged in the game as steel, I believe. So not all steel marked hanging moss in Solitude is going to get you in trouble. Just like, that's my fun little Easter egg I know about. But I'd argue training's one of the best things to spend your gold on.
Oh yeah. And on the note of destruction trainers, Sibyl Stentor in the Blue Palace in Solitude is a destruction trainer. She's one of the advisors for the queen, the Jarless, whatever.
Yeah. She's the queen.
Yeah, the queen. Yeah. And definitely not a vampire.
No. I do actually really enjoy Sybil Stentor. Stentor?
Yeah.
I enjoy her so much I've forgotten the name. No, I really enjoy her as a character. I think she's a very good way to do like a minor character who really doesn't have much going on while still making them interesting by adding this little bit of intrigue and implied goings on. It's almost a masterclass on how to do a sort of nothing character and still make something be there. But
she doesn't have the vampire curing quest tied to her, does she?
I don't think so.
I can't remember.
No. Let's move on, and why don't you take number 10, Caedo?
Number 10, ingots. This is where your frugality will challenge your ease. Are you willing to put in a little extra work in order to spend less gold down the road? Ingots are the solid metal bars that you turn into weapons and armor, if you're a blacksmith. They can be purchased from NPCs in-game, but considering the number you'll need, it's much cheaper to carry around a pickaxe and mine ore when you find it out in the world. You don't even have to just go into caves, or can be found just about everywhere. Anywhere. My god. This is a me problem. The worst mistake you can make is buying dwarven metal ingots, because you can get so much free dwarven scrap that it's genuinely ridiculous. The only problem? Having enough stamina to carry it all out of the depths with you.
First off...
They mean carry capacity?
Yes, they do. Okay, first off I was going to say, though, I think this is the best entry so far.
Yes.
Just flat out, like, sometimes it is worthwhile to buy ingots. Like, if you're upgrading all your gear and it's like, oh dang, I need just one specific ingot that I'm short on. Sometimes just for the ease of it, if you've got the gold, yeah, buy the ingot, save yourself some time. But I'm also someone who loves having a pickaxe and letting the ore mining animation play. Like, something we've not mentioned here as well is you'll sometimes get rare gems. Like, you get gemstones from mining ore veins as well, which you can then sell or add on to your smithing rotation and make better jewelry for faster leveling. Like, there's added benefits to it as well. The disadvantages, of course, pickaxes are quite heavy. They have like 10 carry weight, which is not great, but I think so. I think they're 10. It could be 5.
Oh, it is 10. You're right.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, they are reasonably heavy, which is the disadvantage with them, but I always think it's worthwhile. I was kind of expecting them to say, hey, just buy the ore instead, and then smelt it down at a smelter.
Yeah, that makes more sense because it is cheaper, and I think the only trade-off is like it takes 2 ore to make 1 ingot. So like
for most of them, yeah, but not even all of them.
Sure?
Like iron is, I know, an exception. I think there's a few exceptions, and they do bring up dwarven scrap, which doesn't have ores, but has like dwarven scrap metal you'll find, which tends to be quite heavy, but breaks down into like multiple ingots all at once. Which also is why dwarven smithing is one of the fastest ways to kind of level up, because you're able to get quite a lot of ingots all at once.
Yep.
Which is pretty nice. But yeah, I don't have any major issues with this entry. I think this is a fine bit of advice overall.
Yeah, I think so. And to add on to the whole like mining rotation thing, transmute will automatically give you better ore to make better ingots to make more money. So
like if you need iron ingots for the things you're making, especially if you're dealing with like a half fire or anything, then stick with your iron ore, but being able to transmute it into both silver and gold, and do make sure to make some silver ingots as well as gold ingots, because of the gems you've picked up while mining. There's a lot of them. Well, the entire list of silver and gold has different gemstones they use, so you don't want to go all gold. But yeah.
I go all gold because I'm because I'm stubborn and don't want to take longer.
It is quite slow. I recently did a whole getting a bunch of silver ore, and the problem is it doesn't go, oh, we'll turn each iron ore into silver and then each silver ore into gold.
No,
it turns silver into
silver.
Gold first. So you have to drop every silver ore as you transmute it.
Yeah, that's an extra step I just don't want to do.
Yeah. But yeah. Transmute mineral ore is pretty great as a spell.
Yep.
Right. Number 9, food and drinks. While the food and drinks in Skyrim look amazing, they're not worth spending any in-game gold on. The food offers very minimal health restoration and often has no positive status effects at all. The same can be said about the drinks in Skyrim. They're useful in hardcore mode, but serve little purpose outside the mode unless you're really into role-playing as your player character. The best thing to do with food is eat each new ingredient so you can learn about their status effects. These ingredients can be quite useful for alchemy when brewing potions later in the game. This is, I think, the first entry where it feels like they haven't played Skyrim.
I was on board for the first part.
Yeah, I think this is great if you read the title and the first 2 sentences.
Yes.
But then they call survival mode hardcore mode, and they mix up ingredients with food, which are different categories, just flat out.
Yes. Yeah.
And you do actually want to buy ingredients. I'm waiting for ingredients, like alchemy ingredients, to pop up in the list, so that I can be like, no,
you're wrong.
That's what I'm expecting, where they're like, oh, don't buy it just because it grows everywhere.
Because that's literally what I do when I go to the alchemy shops. I buy all the ingredients, convert them, and then sell the potions. Like that's
there are some ingredients which are quite expensive, and the potions you make aren't super valuable. Like vampire dust is quite a big one, where like you can make a profit with potions of invisibility, but it's not a big one. Whereas like blue mountain flower and wheat costs like 6 and 11 gold at maximum, I think. And the potion's never going to sell for like less than 50. I do too much alchemy. I do too much alchemy, Caedo. I shouldn't
Salt
have
and Death Bell.
Yeah, Salt and Death Bell's another good one.
Do my slow potion.
Yeah,
slow potion grind.
Poison. Throw in some red mountain flower with that as well, which is very common, and get a bit of damage thrown in for just a small increase too. Yeah, there's so many good ingredients. So the ingredient thing, they're just flat out wrong on. The food thing, Skyrim food sucks.
Yeah.
Like, in survival mode, it suddenly has worth and is worthwhile, but apart from that, there are only a few food items that are actually good.
I mean, the question here, too, is, like, are we buying food, or are we just eating it out of barrels or stealing it and then eating it? Because that's what I'm doing most of the time, if not all the time.
Like, the main argument I can think of for buying food is specifically buying ingredients for vegetable soup. Like, if you're running low on leeks or tomato or whatever, then it can be good to just buy those, because they're nice and cheap, and they'll get you an item which gives you constant health and stamina regeneration, which is insanely strong.
Yeah.
Which is such a contrast when it's like, oh, I ate an entire, like, roast goat and it gave me 10 hit points. I drank some vegetable soup and now the flesh knits back when I have an axe attack me.
Now I'm a melee god.
Yeah. Or like I had 20 vegetable soup and now I can literally sprint from one end of Skyrim to the other without stopping.
That's too much soup. That's too much soup power.
Yeah. But yeah, this is half right.
Yeah, this is half right. This one makes sense for the first half, but then the second half is just not about the right thing.
Yep.
All right, Sarge, number 8.
Wait, are you doing number 8? You're doing number 8, Caedo.
I'm doing number 8. Oh,
yes.
Whoops. Okay, number 8. Weapons and armor.
Before we even go into it, earlier they told us that we should spend our gold on weapons and armor and not on horses.
That is true. Yes. That's funny.
I really hope they end this one by saying you should spend your gold on horse instead.
This may seem obvious, but you're going to kill a lot of people in Skyrim. They're almost always wearing better equipment than you could buy from the local blacksmith or whoever. If you do buy anything, more often than not, you're going to wind up carrying it around when you equip something else and to sell it again at a loss. None of that is to mention the faction unique equipment. By joining the Dark Brotherhood, you'll get gear with enchantments that increase your stealth stats. As part of the Companion's questline, you'll also have the chance to snag a legendary shield and axe. The list goes on. Okay.
Now, I agree with them here, but once again, they are countering something that was in the very first entry on the list.
I think one of them was an edit, and
yeah,
like the norm for these, like the person who was editing didn't like actually read the other entries or like pay attention to the entries
they just read the title and were like, yeah, that's fine, don't care.
So I think we found the edit on one of those.
Yeah. And this I do agree with. This was an argument I was making in the horse section, where it's like you'll kill enemies and get better stuff quite often. And the unique gear is very good to pick up, and
it is.
Joining factions as well. Especially, I do wish they'd mentioned... They kind of mention it. They do say by joining the Dark Brotherhood you'll get gear with enchantments. Like, I wish they'd more clearly stated that very early on in certain factions you just get gifted a bunch of powerful equipment.
Yeah.
Like, I think Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood are the two big ones there.
Very light armor heavy bonuses in Skyrim.
Yeah, it's difficult to get very good heavy armor early on. In the base game, at least. In Anniversary Edition, there's a few sets you can kind of get easy. But, yeah, light armor... I think, man... I don't think it was at all intentional, but the fact that, like, stealth archers are, like, bows, light armor, sneak, all of that stuff, and all of the skills and equipment to do with that is very easy to get or easy to level up, really did help with the proliferation of the whole stealth archer meme for Skyrim.
Yep.
Because no matter your skill level, you can become a decent stealth archer.
Yep.
It does not take much knowledge, it does not take much effort, it is just the game is going to hand you equipment that helps with that, and just, it's a fun playstyle as well. But
yeah. And some of the best heavy armor, like the Ebony Mail, like just has muffle innately anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because and then you're just a stealth archer in heavy armor who happens to melt people to death if they get too close, which is funny.
Yeah, I feel like there's not really... I do wish... you probably could have done it with the Civil War if they gave you heavy armor, like a unique enchanted set with some bonuses for melee and whatnot. But
yeah, why not? Like, they give you faction armor, but they don't give you, like...
anything good. They give you faction armor, which you will have picked up in the tutorial.
Yeah. Yep. Dang, dude.
And it's like, when you join the Companions as well, they point out in this article, like, eventually you get, like, a legendary shield and legendary axe and stuff.
Yeah, but there's no, like, Companions set that you get that is,
there
like,
is
comes
wolf
enchanted.
armor, which
is
is
wolf armor.
A thing,
yes.
But it's, like, a step or two above steel armor, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it's not...
It's
by
not
that
good.
point, like, you're not really going to need it, probably.
Yeah, and you need to make it, like, I want to say maybe halfway through the Companion's quest line before you actually encounter it.
Actually.
I'm pretty sure you can pick it up from a bald guy who dies.
Bald. Oh, yeah.
See, you know who I mean.
Skjor.
Skior? Could be Skior. See, I feel like there's an S, a K, a J, and maybe a Y in his name. And I'm just like, it's just such a kind of Scandinavian Norse-style name, but if I try and pronounce it, I'm going to come across real bad.
Was there a son in there? That's probably my favorite
He's...
Norse joke. Anyway, I guess this is fairly accurate. Like,
yeah,
you'll get better gear by killing and doing quests.
Yeah, and we also stumbled across the light armor bias in Skyrim, which is a real shame, because heavy armor can be fun.
Yeah.
Until you, like, max out smithing and your light armor skill and can just hit the armor cap anyway.
Yeah.
Poor heavy armor.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 7, mercenaries. At the tavern of many major cities in Skyrim, there's a mercenary that can be hired for 500 gold. We have a helpful guide on where to find them all, and then not buy them, clearly. These mercenaries will act as a follower and do whatever is asked of them until you tell them their services are no longer required. There are loads of good and bad followers in Skyrim, and the best followers are those you don't have to pay to be by your side. By doing quests and helping out the people of Skyrim, you will inevitably come across some characters who would like to accompany you on your adventures for free. Some of these followers are essential characters, meaning they can never actually be killed. Those are the ones you should target. I half agree with this.
Okay.
I do think, yeah, most of the time, especially if you don't know much about the followers and stuff, free follower beats paid follower. Just save yourself the gold. You'll come across plenty of followers as you play.
I think something I would expect you to say, Sarge.
Yep. However, a couple of the mercenaries, especially early on, are really good.
Yes.
Like, Mercurio is his name, right? The mage in Riften?
He's the one in Riften. Yeah, he's good. He's
like
good...
an expert level destruction mage.
Yes.
That you can pick up at level 1 for 500 gold. And he will just melt most enemies you come across.
Yep.
Like, I think... Is it Janessa as well in Whiterun? Is that her name?
Yeah, she's in the Drunken Huntsman.
Yeah, the Dark Elf who's kind of a ranger class.
Yeah,
she's not as powerful, but I think she's a very good all-rounder. Arguably one of the best all-rounder followers in Skyrim. Which is especially nice because often followers in Skyrim, even if you give them, like, a legendary axe of, like, elf slaying or whatever, they'll be like, but what if I used a hunting bow?
Yeah.
And she at least is good with her bow as well, which is nice. But I only half agree with this.
Yeah.
Because even the worst followers as well.
Don't you have to pay to hire the one in Raven Rock?
Yes, Teldrin Serro? Teldrin
Serro?
Serro. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you like that one a lot.
He is the strongest follower in the game.
Okay.
He is a battle mage who uses, like, destruction and one-handed typically, but he also does summons, and he will summon Atronachs to fight alongside you. Yeah. He is
automatic
so
win
worth
for me.
500 gold. He is by far the strongest follower in the game. I say there's an asterisk on that because they bring up, like, essential characters. Like, you can have Serana while you're doing this quest, or Barbas while you're doing the other quests and stuff like that. And, like, yeah, technically they're stronger because they never fully die or whatever. But no, Teldrin Serro is just the best follower.
But
and
Serana and Barbas both have annoying companion AI.
Yes. Teldrin Serro as well. I think because he is, like, a battle mage, keeps a little bit of distance from you, doesn't charge in directly to enemies right away, but will get involved in melee if needed. Like, just everything about him works perfectly.
So he's like the perfect distance for a follower.
Yeah, he doesn't get up close immediately and just block all your attacks.
Yeah.
But if he does get attacked, he won't just kind of, like, back away or anything. He will actually stand and fight. Like,
I rediscovered how much... Sorry.
No, I was
I rediscovered how much anger I have towards Barbas as a invulnerable companion that comes along with you for Clavicus Vile's quest. When you end up going to go get the axe, his companion AI puts him, like, in your bubble. Like, and he's so close, in fact, that if you actually draw your weapon or get your hands out for spells, he will push you endlessly and then bark loudly and repeatedly at you. And I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate being pushed around by companions at all in a game.
Yeah.
And that's like his whole thing. So yeah, he's an invincible tank, but so my gamer theory about it was that, you know, some quest designer like made him that annoying so you'd want to kill him with the axe. That's my theory now, because I got so irate at this stupid video game dog. I'm formulating the list of dogs I hate in video games.
No. I mean, I've pushed back against you being like, oh, dog meat sucks and whatever. I'm not going to do that against Barbas.
No, Barbas is worse.
Does show how annoying he is.
Barbas is so much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Overall, though, I think mercenaries aren't that bad. I don't hate this entry. It's not as bad as some of the others, because there are a few mercenaries as well. Typically, the pure melee ones aren't that great. They do get him away quite a bit. But, yeah, mercenaries are alright. A couple of them are really good.
And they're half the cost of a horse.
Yeah.
They can carry your stuff.
They can.
Yeah.
They are paid to carry your burdens.
Yes, they are.
Some of them also have very nice dialogue.
Yes. Yes, that is true.
Like, I think they have better dialogue than a lot of free followers, and I don't know if that was intentional or not. But in general, they're a lot more excited to do things and get involved in combat, and some of them have, like, war stories and stuff they retell you. Whereas a lot of followers are like, oh, a cave. I guess we could explore.
Yep.
Whereas the mercenaries are like, what is it? Teldrin Sarah has some really good lines about, like, people he's worked for in the past. And he, like, some of them he's like, well, this person I worked for was an idiot who charged into combat blindly. And it's fun, because he's got a bit of sass to him, but he still sticks by his... I'm arguing more and more against this entry that I said was okay the more I talk. So maybe it's time to move on to number 6.
Enchanted items. The enchanted items that merchants sell are almost always overpriced, costing you thousands of gold. It's best to avoid these enchanted items completely and buy items with no special abilities. These regular items are almost always cheaper and can eventually be given an enchantment of your choice once your enchanting skill is at a high enough level. In the endgame, you can splurge on items that have an enchantment you've never seen before, but they are not worth it early on in your journey. Building up your library of enchantments is something you should only do later in the game. This one fights itself.
Yeah, you know, I was... What? This is another one where I was on board kind of until the end, where they were like, don't level up enchanting and don't get more enchantments, but once your enchanting skill's high enough, then you can... What? Yeah.
Don't buy enchanted items, enchant them yourself, but don't have enchantment effects until late game.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they deleted just the final sentence in this, it would be much better. Because then they do specify, like, only splurge on enchantments that you've not seen before. If you just happen to have not come across this enchantment, fair enough. But, yeah, the final thing of building up your library enchantments is something you should only do later in the game. No, the whole point is you will find enchanted gear out and about. Yeah. And some of it will have really weak enchantments as well. Like, an extra 5 points of frost damage isn't going to change most battles in the mid-game and onwards. But, yeah, they kind of failed at the end. But I think overall, this is another one that is largely correct.
Largely, yes.
Yeah. But there are instances, but I think especially for beginners and newer players and stuff who don't know what they're doing, throwing your money away on enchanted items is rarely going to be worth it.
Yeah, because the expensive part, yes, that is true. They are very expensive early on, but you may have a specific build you're going for, and sometimes it's hard to resist. Like, I'm focused one-handed, and this amulet gives me one-handed damage. I should probably get it. Yeah,
there are definitely situations like that. Or there are stuff like, this is Fortify Alchemy or Fortify Smithing. If I get that, then I can break it down and make myself a smithing suit or an alchemy suit early on. Yeah. Like, that can often pay for itself just by letting you make more valuable stuff or save on some skill training or whatnot, which is another thing they said not to spend money on. Yeah. I feel like by the end of this list, there'll be nothing left to buy. Yeah. Like, you just have to hoard gold.
Just don't buy anything. Just go into Skyrim, just completely in nude, screaming at the top of your lungs, as the Dragonborn, and everything's gonna work out just fine.
Because we haven't had, like, carriage ride and boat rides, which I feel are gonna pop up eventually. But, like, there's not a huge number of things you actually spend gold on in Skyrim, and we've covered at least half of them at this point. Technically, we've had multiple saying, don't buy items. We've had weapons and armor, enchanted items. We also had, like, on the horse one, don't buy equipment or whatever. It's like... Well, actually, no, they say do buy equipment there, and then later on they say don't buy equipment. But, yeah, I think this is fine advice. Again, just fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright, number 5, Breeze Home. Breeze Home is likely the first player home you'll get the option to buy in Skyrim. After progressing through the first few main quests, you'll become the Thane of Whiterun, and be allowed to buy property in the city. Sadly, this house will cost you 5,000 gold, so it won't come cheap. There are plenty of player houses in Skyrim, but the best ones are those you get for free. They're like that phrase. By joining the companions, who are also in Whiterun, you will be given a room in the basement of the ancient mead hall known as Jorvaska. There you can store your gear and do most of the things you'd normally be able to do in a player home at no cost. My one point of questioning is the chest in Jorvaska safe?
Yeah, that's immediately what my brain does too.
Yeah, we both had the thing flag up of, does that refresh? Because certain chests in Skyrim will, like, refresh their inventory after a certain amount of time passes, and certain ones don't.
Yeah, I was worried that they were going to go the Hearthfire direction, and even the Hearthfire homes, like, have weird, like, inventory resets that happen in them too.
But, I mean, Hearthfire homes are also quite expensive, because you have to buy the plot of land and stuff.
Yeah, they are.
The thing they didn't point out is you then have to buy a bunch of upgrades and stuff to make it actually nice, which I feel like would have been a good thing, because it is, like, a hefty gold investment to get, like, a rundown old shack, and then, like, 2 to 3 times as much investment to get it all fully furnished. So, you will be spending over 10 grand of gold to get a nice, small house in Whiterun.
Use the cupboard at the end of the bedroom in the living quarters. That's what Stratus says 3 years ago when it comes to Jorvaskr. Because somebody was asking about the chest in the mead hall.
Yeah.
That is not safe. So
cool.
you gotta be careful, dude.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Whereas Breeze Home, they're all safe,
over 5,
as far as
gold.
I know.
Yeah, should be. Yeah, typically chests and stuff inside your house are safe, which is the big advantage of having a home. But yeah, it's I'm glad they specified Breeze Home, because I do feel like Breeze Home is a bit of a rip-off. I feel like most of the other houses are better, just in general. Breeze Home's big advantage is it's in Whiterun, where you're almost certainly going to spend a lot of time. There's merchants, like, right outside to either direction. Like, it's a location is its big selling point.
Yeah.
And it's also very easy to become Thane, because, like they say, it's a few main quests, and it's done. Like, if you want to play with dragons, you are Thane of Whiterun.
Yep.
Whereas a lot of the other holds, it's difficult to get that. I am curious if this was an updated one or an earlier one, because the whole plenty of player houses in Skyrim, like, if this is post-anniversary edition and that's what they're talking about, then yeah, there's already better homes. We already brought up Golden Hills, but like Mirrorwatch, and even the house outside of Skyrim, which still costs quite a bit of gold, is better, just because it's got more stuff going on with it.
I'm scrolling through right now because that is a link.
It is a link. But it's a link that they might have updated.
Yep. I'm looking through it. These are all existing... Yeah, these are all existing non-anniversary. Yeah, they made 14 entries. Non-anniversary houses. But some of them are like the Abandoned Shack, Halvor and Sigrid's house, Hod and Girder's house, you know, that stuff. So,
yeah. I was going to say, I can't think of 14 actually homes you own.
No, you don't own some of these, apparently.
No, in Anniversary Edition, you can get, like, amazing homes for free.
Oh,
like, there's a few of them there. Like, a couple of them you have to do basically nothing for. It's like, do you know the flame spell? / can you kill 2 ghosts? Stupidly easy. And then even some of the trickier ones still aren't that hard.
Golden Hills Plantation should have been one of the harder ones, to be honest, but it's not.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, the hardest one is actually the vampire layer, because the
Yes.
vampire in there is way over leveled for when you get the quest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get that quest at like level 10, and the vampire is like level 35 or something stupid.
Yeah, you do not want to go there at that level, because you'll get destroyed.
Especially because that is the guest for dinner quest or whatever it's called, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a battle that only starts when you are sat down on a chair, if I'm recalling correctly. Like,
some of it I blocked out because I was so angry.
it's a case of you're told to sit down and then read a note, you sit down, the note pops up, and then combat starts when you lower the note, but then you have to go through the getting up out of a chair animation, which is, it's not like insanely slow, but it's like 2 or 3 seconds where there's a huge fight breaking out with like vampires and gargoyles and basic civilians who are essentially on your side, so to speak, slash fodder that gets taken down in those 2 to 3 seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tricky quest.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still overall agree with Breeze Home, even though once again some of her information is just wrong.
Yeah, Breeze Home, straight up, you probably don't need to spend money on it, because there are places you can store stuff, and like they were saying, or like we were saying earlier, if you have Lydia, because you'll have Lydia at this point. She's sworn to carry your burdens. You can just throw your extra stuff on her for the time being and go on your way.
Yeah.
So
yes, carry weight in Skyrim can be a bit of a problem, but it's not as bad as some Bethesda games.
No.
Like, I think Fallout 3 is one of the worst ones, and in that there's like literally one quest you can do for a home. And it's like such a kind of important one to some degree. You can literally wipe out a town to get a home. It is wild.
Yeah.
And that always does bug me a bit, because there are some playthroughs where I want to save the whole do I blow up Megaton or not quest until much later, but I also like to be able to store equipment, so... Yeah.
That's why I drop everything in Moira's shop before that happens.
I can't be bothered with the whole dropping things.
That's why I just leave all my stuff
it's so
that
messy.
I don't want to carry around. I don't care. Like, there's not many other options I have in Fallout 3.
There's not. No, Fallout 3 does not give you options.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think that's something we said in our Fallout 3 remastered wish list, but a few extra player homes would be nice.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't be averse to that as added content. Anyway, let's continue with the list. What's at number 4, Caedo?
Number 4 is spell tomes. There are some spell tomes worth buying and some that are worth finding on your own for free. If you have the money, it's probably best to just buy any new spell you haven't learned yet from a merchant, but that's not the case in the early game. There are plenty of spell tomes you can find for free in the early game that will be very useful, including the Transmute Mineral Ore, Bound Bow, and Bound Sword. Going out to find these spell tomes is an adventure on its own, so you'll discover much more by searching for them than you will by simply purchasing them from a merchant.
I love how they already back away from their whole thing in like the second sentence.
The first
half of the first sentence.
Yeah.
Don't buy any spell tomes. There are some spell tomes worth buying.
And then just buy all the spell tomes.
Yeah.
Just buy them all, guys.
Yeah, weirdly, I think this isn't one that they should have backtracked so much on, because they make a nice point about, like, getting these spell tomes and finding them can be an adventure on its own. And if you are like, hey, players, don't just buy your way into getting all the things you want, maybe go check out this layer of mages and there'll be some spell tomes and you'll learn new things and you get an actual story behind how you learnt this spell. That can be kind of cool. So I think there could be a much better phrased argument here. But instead they're just like, don't buy spell tomes, but maybe do.
Yeah. I mean, I think anybody can think that if they want to.
Yeah.
If you need spell tomes, buy them. If you don't, don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Which
it's not even an entry.
yeah. Technically, it is right. If you need them, buy them. Spell tomes aren't that expensive, and some of them are quite powerful. Bound Bow, I don't think should have been one of their examples. Because if I recall correctly, Bound Bow is just in Fortum Mall as a random drop.
As a random drop, though?
And not as a random drop, as a guaranteed drop, like, in the world. Yeah, the Spell Tome, hidden under a lantern in the bucket in the northwest corner of Fortum Mall Prison. or it can be built from merchants. Like, that seems to be it. Yeah, otherwise you just... Maybe it can be found randomly as well, just as generic loot. I can't remember exactly how that works with spell tomes.
It might be able to, but, I mean, if you're going the magic direction anyway, like Finis Gastor, the conjuration trainer in the college, can just hook you up with, like, you know, the best conjuration spells. So
yes.
Which I'm so excited, dude. Oh, I'm so excited to get high-level conjuration in my playthrough.
Yeah. I mean, you're on Anniversary Edition as well, so you'll get, like, a bunch of other options.
I'm very excited.
Like, I do wish I'd played around a bit more with the Anniversary Edition summon spells, because some of them are quite interesting. Like, there's basic ones like, summon a skeletal archer, which is still just a basic summon, but then there's, like, Soul Split or something, which is you use it on your summon, and then if it dies, it turns into 2 other things. And yeah,
that one's actually really cool.
Yeah, there's some genuinely interesting stuff. I remember a reason why I didn't, though. It's because I tried to make, like, a Necromancer-style build or something, and I was like, okay, I'll use some of these high-level conjuration spells, they're really good. But they cost, like, a ludicrous amount of magicka, and I hadn't built to, like, reach 100% reduction in conjuration spells, and then I just ended up giving up, because the idea of what I had in mind, using, I think, even Necromancer robes and stuff, just didn't work. They were very much designed to be, like, the highest level spells. It was like, you just need 900 magicka for this. And I was like, but I've not invested into reducing conjuration a bunch.
Those are Oblivion numbers.
Yeah, it was like, you get really cool spells, but you have to be built for, I've got, like, at least 75% reduction to conjuration spell cost or whatever. And I have not built the build that way, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah,
which is a shame.
So spell tomes, this entry's bullcrap.
Yeah,
don't listen to this one, even though it goes both directions anyway.
Number 3 though is potions. Buying potions may be the biggest waste of gold in all of Skyrim. Seriously, there are potions all over the place in the game. You'll find them in houses, taverns, dungeons, and many other places. Sure, it's technically stealing if you snatch them from all the rooms in an inn, but if you never get caught, then you'll never lose them. Only in very specific cases is it a good idea to buy a potion. For example, if you see a potion of a Berserker, you're going to want to buy it. This potion is not quite as powerful as Berserker Rage, the special ability of the Orcs, but it can make you deal some serious damage.
What? Hold on.
Yeah, you may have noticed how I did a questioning tone in that second bit, where Potion of a Berserker is Fortified Two-Handed Enchantment.
Yeah.
Wait, or is it Fortified Light Armor?
Two-handed.
Two-handed. Okay, yeah, so it is good if you're a two-handed build, but they seem to think it does the same thing as Berserker Rage, which is doubling damage. But just
true.
a weaker version.
Not true at all.
Yeah.
It's not at all the same.
No. I was also expecting a paragraph where they went, just get ingredients instead and make the potions yourself for much cheaper.
I feel like that's the direction it was supposed to go.
Yeah, but instead they failed to understand basic effects in Skyrim.
It's like, just steal the potions that you see in other people's houses and just fill up your favorites menu with all potions instead.
Yeah. There's also a disadvantage of
the stolen
stealing
ones
potions.
have a separate... Yeah, they have a separate entry.
Yeah, they do. But if you steal a bunch of stuff, you'll get hired thugs after you, which I think catch a lot of low-level players out that are new to Skyrim.
They got me.
They're like, steal, and then they're like level 2 or something, and 3 like heavily armoured guys just are like, we were sent here to kill you.
They beat me up on the Riften Docks. Mm-hmm. And then I had to shoot them with a fire arrow to survive. Yep. Disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Buy the potions you need, dude.
Yeah. Weirdly, I disagree with this entry, even though I'm like, yeah, don't bother buying potions. Because you can craft them instead. And that's so much cheaper. Because also, if you're buying potions, you're probably an alchemist, and they sell ingredients.
Yeah. There is that. But also, if you can't be bothered or the ingredients you need for certain potions aren't available, then, you know, and in my case, like, I had been using a lot of healing potions and a lot of magicka potions because my build is kind of doo-doo butts in the first few episodes. So, like, I needed to chug extra potions.
Yeah.
And including the ones that I crafted myself.
I need to actually catch up on your series, because I know you, like, re-uploaded an episode, and in my brain I was like, I'll stop and rewatch from the beginning, from the re-upload, and then just life happened. So now I've only watched, like, the first 2 or 3. But I do remember distinctly you using, like, 10 different skills to get through, Pine Watch, and being like, oh, this is so bad for leveling. Because it was just like heavy armor, light armor, one-handed block, destruction, conjuration, just like everything goes up by 1 rank.
Yep.
And it's like, so painful.
And then I read books that don't apply, and then...
Yes.
Yep.
You specifically say, there's no point me doing this whole reading of a skill book because it'll mess up with the build. And then you immediately read the skill book. Just,
cursed for reading. Cursed to read books I come across. That's the lore reason.
You're lucky you don't have to spin the wheel every time you do something which you acknowledge is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Your character would already be at like minus 500 hit points.
Yeah, he'd be dead many times over, I think.
You would have failed the run. Just flat out.
Because there is a way to fail the run. Like, if I spin minus HP enough times, like, I'll just be dead. I won't be able to do anything. So, but fortunately, my HP's at 200, so I should be okay.
Yeah, you would need to be insanely unlucky for that to occur.
I need to pick up, like start enchanting. I should, if I started enchanting things, then I would be, in danger.
Yeah, just enchant like 100 iron daggers all at once. Anyway, let's go on to the penultimate entry of the list. Number 2, your children. We've always been told the hardest part about having kids is the expense. In Skyrim, thankfully, you can almost entirely ignore your kids, and they'll still come running to greet you when you return home. However, if you're feeling like a generous parent, you can do a little spoiling. The Half-Fire expansion added new items along with the ability to adopt, so you can buy your children new clothes, fancy dolls, practice weapons, and more. However, we should warn you, it's not a good thing to spend your money on. That's not to say that you shouldn't give your kids gifts at all, but you'll come across many of these items in your adventures without having to spend your hard-earned gold. Kids' clothes and dolls appear in containers all over Skyrim, and even if you don't find any of those, your kids are just as happy with gifts of small daggers and foodstuffs.
Specifically small daggers that they can stab each other with.
I wish this entry had gone more down the comedic route.
Yeah, me too.
Like, obviously this is a bit of an older one, and the whole child free by choice discourse is not new, but it being kind of in the forefront of a lot of social media and discussions and stuff is kind of a lot more new.
Yeah, the internet and Reddit kind of helped with that too.
And it's like, you could have had a lot of fun with this entry. You could have been like, as you all know, the girl with the list has 100 reasons not to spend money on your kids and stuff like that. But yeah, this is something I think we will just agree with. Like, when was the last time you actually had children in Skyrim, Caedo?
Oh, when I had the mod that would allow them to be unexisted by a dragon.
That feels like a weird last time to have had children. Like, yes, I want to be able to have children in Skyrim, but only if they're mortal.
I think I installed it after I was like, these suck. I don't like having kids in my house.
Yeah, they are also pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I think the child who is the best in Skyrim is one of the ones they've got listed in their pictures, who is Sophie. She sells flowers, which are alchemy ingredients which I like. So I sometimes buy flowers off of her.
Yes.
That is the best child in Skyrim.
That's it.
Yeah.
She'll eventually be a good investment because she'll be an alchemist and make me money.
I mean, I'm not going to adopt her, Caedo. Let's not go
sorry,
crazy
my bad.
here.
My bad.
I just let her sleep on the street and occasionally spend like 20 gold to buy 4 or 5 flowers.
I jumped the horse. Sorry.
Yeah. But, there are obviously people who actually do enjoy the whole having a family in Skyrim thing. And I think if that is the case, you're also someone who's not going to worry too much about how much gold it costs you. I feel like that is almost a binary thing for efficiency versus immersive role-playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids in Skyrim suck.
They do. Yeah.
Like in almost every game.
Yeah. Almost every Bethesda game, actually.
I mean, can you think of a Bethesda game with good kids? Actually, I will say, Starfield had Cora?
Cora?
Cora Cole?
Yeah.
Wait, was that her name?
Yes.
Oh, that's a dumb name. I was going to say, she's at least got, like, character development. She has a personality. Like, she is a fleshed-out individual.
Yeah, well, yeah. Keeping her on your crew does get pretty obnoxious, though. But
yeah,
that
that's
can
more
be
of a
said
problem
for a
with just
lot of them.
Yeah, the fact that almost every follower has, like, 3 lines of dialogue they say when you leave a location on your ship or travel through space or anything like that. Like, yeah, that was just a issue with not having enough variety in what they say.
There's one kid that comes to mind that I like, and that's Bowie.
Oh, from Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Man, I kind of forgot about Little Lamplight and all of that.
Yeah.
It's mostly because I avoid it.
Yeah,
so
well,
often.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think those kids at least do have some personality and stuff as well. So that's fair.
It's because you get something out of it. That's why I like him. So
yeah.
Like,
As a reward.
I get the Wazer rifle. I'm happy.
Yeah, and in Fallout New Vegas, I can't remember the name of the kid, but the one that will sell you the laser death machine power of the sun. Euclid Sea Finder, is it called?
Oh, Euclid Sea Finder? Yeah.
Euclid Sea Finder. Yeah, you can get that off of a kid. And because it's a kid, doesn't understand how valuable the thing is, so you can generally get it quite cheap.
Yeah, it would have been so hilarious if they took it a step, because it would be an Obsidian thing to do, is if they took it a step further, like when you activate Helios, you just see an explosion in Freeside.
Oh dear. Oh man, yeah.
And you can find it in a crater or something. That would be so funny.
That would be great.
It would be so funny.
Alright, but anyway, well done, TheGamer. Children are not worth spending money on.
Yeah.
If you take nothing else away from the 158 episodes of this podcast, just know, never spend money on kids.
Yeah.
That's the moral of it.
Never spend money on kids. Yep. Period.
Okay, Caedo, you can now take number 1.
Number 1, bounties. If you're ever caught committing a crime in Skyrim, don't pay off your bounty unless these are both true. It's below 100 gold, and you don't have any stolen goods on you. Anything else is too high to be worth it. Even if it's below 100 gold and you do have stolen items, it's not worth it because they'll confiscate those when they bring you in. If your speech skill is high enough, you'll likely be able to persuade the guard to look the other way. If all else fails, just try to become a Thane in a specific hold before committing any crimes there. As long as you don't rack up a bounty above 1,000 gold, you'll be able to get out of any situation by letting the guards know you're the Thane. Once they realize you're part of the hold nobility, they'll refrain from arresting you.
Also, if you join the Thieves Guild, you get an option there as well to pay a cheaper bribe.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
I'm with the guild and then pickpocket them.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Which feels quite thematic.
Yes, it's very funny.
I do think this is the best formatted of the entries we've had.
It is.
We have a double bullet point to make it nice and clear, and they've put the don't pay off your bounty unless both these are true in bold. So that's just a nice bit of formatting and a nice bit of extra work, which you don't normally see put into TheGamer.
Yep.
So, well done. And the 100 gold being below is a bit arbitrary, but I'm not that against it. Like, setting a limit, being like, don't waste tons of money. Fair enough. And yeah, the point about stolen goods and how you'll lose them is something that I think would trip up a lot of players, like their first time in Skyrim. Because it's only when you agree to pay the fine that they then say, you're coming with us and we'll take all your stolen items. But in Skyrim dialogue. Which, yeah, because it comes after you agree to pay the fine, you're not really prepared for if you're not already familiar with that being a thing.
Yeah. So I would like to make an argument for Skyrim's prisons or jails, because they have escape sequences that are kind of interesting and different.
Yes.
Some of them do. And also confiscated goods can be taken back from the evidence chest, and a lot of the time it's not guarded well at all, so you could just get your stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you in principle. The thing that always bugs me a bit is it feels like the whole crime and punishment side of Skyrim is like 80 or 90% of the way there, but then the final bit just isn't. Like, it is just so much easier to be in the Thieves Guild or be a Thane or do any of this stuff. than it is to do the more immersive, oh, I've not got the gold, so I'll go to jail, and then I'll break out but steal my stuff on the way, which is very exciting and cool, but just not worth doing most of the time.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. It's a little frustrating. At least there is the no one escapes Cinnamon quest, so you still get prison break, even if you know what you're doing in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I almost always forget about that, like, being... like... if you go to jail, you just end up there.
Yeah.
If you're arrested in Markarth. I keep forgetting that, but yeah, makes sense.
I don't think I've ended up in there by being arrested, because obviously I'm either with the Thieves Guild or a Thane, or just don't get caught. Or if I do get caught, it's doing like 20 murders, so they're not like, let's throw you in jail, it just goes straight into combat.
You're not grabbing hanging moss by accident?
No. Like, I really don't steal that much in Skyrim. Especially these days. I'm like, no, I'm just not going to steal anything ever. Just don't want to deal with the hired thugs most of the time.
Well, now that I've been reminded of it too by watching your stuff, is like reminded that you can just make friends really easy with certain NPCs and just take all their stuff from their houses after you do that, or most of the stuff that's not high value, like... Which is a lot, to be fair. Especially because stuff like coin purses don't have like a set value, so you just pick them up, and sometimes you get like hundreds of gold, which is lovely. Yeah, and because all the gold stacks in one place, then that doesn't count against or count towards your stolen stuff too. Yeah, it's like the only item that does that. Yeah, the advantage as well is if you're friends with someone in Skyrim and they die because of a random vampire attack or dragon attack or being thrown off of a cliff by a stranger, then you get gold for that too. Yeah. So yeah, just become friends with everyone, and then you don't need to steal stuff, and you also profit from their death. Yeah. Amazing. Woo! Well, I think we've given good moral lessons to all the listeners in this century. Yep. We can feel proud of ourselves. Don't have children, and make friends with everyone so you can be bequeathed something upon their death. Yep. Great moral. We're good people, Caedo. What have you been up to? Great question. Shorts. You've been wearing shorts, have you, Caedo? That makes sense. Actually, it is summertime. It's been very hot here occasionally. So when I was actually in my living room moving stuff around, I did have to switch to shorts because it was way too hot. I overheat very easily, I guess. I also overheat very easily, and I have been unwell during the only times it's cooled down in the summer. Oh! Which, basically any time there's been a drop in temperature, something bad has happened. So I've only been able to do stuff like when the temperature starts to spike again, which is so incredibly annoying. You can be bad company sick. Yeah, accurate. But anyway, you've been making YouTube shorts, haven't you, Caedo? Yes. To go back to on the tracks, yes, I have been making shorts, and I have experienced several gifs of my friends loading a gun to shoot me because I asked them to do that if I decided to start making shorts, and I have. So I've taken that in, and I've found that the bar for quality is not particularly high for shorts. Like my need for high quality editing and stuff like that is just not really present in in Skyrim shorts specifically. So I have been making a whole bunch of Skyrim shorts of the Let's Play episodes I've been doing for the Cursed playthrough, because I think it's a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying it, and I just hope that more people get to see it, because a lot of the time it's just passing them by on their feeds, or just not showing up on their feeds at all because of how jacked up the algorithm is for my channel now, and part of that is my fault. But I mean, Let's Play style content as well, YouTube doesn't seem to understand, or the algorithm doesn't. Because I know, especially on my second channel, which is entirely that, I'll get messages and stuff where it's like, oh, well, episode 12 doesn't seem to be doing as good as the past 10 episodes. And it's like,
Yeah, that's because people will drop off over time. This is perfectly understandable. And YouTube's just like, no, this isn't a 1 out of 10 rated video. This should be at the top. Why isn't it? And get really confused. And then it will occasionally just send out like, oh, episode 18 now has more views than all of the other past 15 episodes combined, because we just pushed it to 100 billion people, because we don't understand how series work.
Yeah. Well, maybe the new shows tab will help with that. I don't know. It was a new feature that was added that I messaged Sarge about. That you can convert playlists to shows and make them actually like serial, so like they can more likely recommend the next episode if somebody's watching. Hopefully that's how it works.
Kind of already how playlists work.
It is, weirdly enough.
There are like 5 or 6 different entries we now have, which all function in the exact same way as playlists.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally videos, shorts, and live. Those are 3 separate things. That is fair enough. We also have shows, playlists, podcasts, and courses. Yep. Which, as far as I can tell, all functionally are exactly the same.
I wonder if courses... Hold on.
It just says then add existing content or upload new videos.
A course is a type of playlist. Create your course, then add existing content or upload new videos. So it is just a playlist that is
it has to have at least 3 videos, and it says it must be designed to actively teach, and can't have age-restricted content.
Okay.
So like there are some limits to it, but because you can claim anything teaches, like we could put our Let's Play up and be like, this is how you teach people to play these games.
Yep.
And that would be fine.
Sure could.
Yeah, it's... There are just multiple things which are playlists just rebranded, because they don't function in a different way, which is a bit annoying to me.
Yeah, so if you were to guess, Sarge, how many shorts do you think I have privated to be published later?
I think you're on like publicly on episode like 12 or 13 of a Let's Play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with, let's go with 25.
Oh my god.
Did I just maths it up?
I have 14 that are privated still.
Oh, okay.
For publishing. But the trailer, the first episode one, and one of the tips ones have all gone up, and they're, getting more views than most of my uploads. But I still don't know if that's translating to like an actual, an interest of like the actual playthrough, because that's all these are promoting. Like at the end of the shorts, I say, hey, check out the main episode if you want.
Yep.
But there's not enough data to actually tell me if these are helpful or not. But I'm gaining like, I've gained like $1.20.
Combined or individually?
Combined.
I was worried it was going to be that.
Hooray!
Yeah, these have like 2,000 to 3,000 views, which... Yeah, you're making basically no money off of.
Yeah.
Like, I actually... My past few videos, I think, have that same number of views, and peek behind the curtain for everyone, they're making like 4 or 5 quid. One of them is actually making 7.5 quid, because things do vary.
Heck yeah.
Damn, my Morrowind video, which has like 3,500 views, has made a tenner, because things do vary quite a bit between video, but yeah. What have I got? Okay, I do have a video that's made £1.41, and that has 642 views. Whereas you have, like, 8,000 views between all your shorts, and you've made that same amount?
Yeah.
So, like, a tenth of what you'd make from just videos doing that well?
It's nickels and dime. But I also don't want that to be, like, where my channel goes. So the reason why I have so many of them privated is because I want to make sure that it's like a 2 for 2 kind of thing. Like I put up 2 shorts and I put up 2 episodes, because if something tells the algorithm like, oh, I'm a shorts channel now, I will legitimately ask you to shoot me. So that's what I'm experimenting with right now. So if you do see some of my stuff in your feed that is Skyrim related, please let me know. It's on my main channel, obviously, which to also mention, I changed my channel name to just Caedo.
And I have never wanted to call you Mr. Genesis more.
Mr. Genesis. Yeah, so I checked and did a little bit of research before I decided to do it, because you lose your verified badge if you decide to change your name and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I wonder like how long the wait is for that. It took like 24 hours to get it back, and it like automatically reapplied to like get my verified badge. So I was like, oh, well, that's great and easy. Awesome. So that was the only concern that I really had, because you know, my original concern when I made my channel was like, what competitors do I have for the name Caedo? And the largest competitor, which has about 1,000 subscribers, hasn't uploaded for 8 years. So I think I'm good on being the one and only Caedo from now on. So
for me, my problem was the video game Battlefield Bad Company, where there's obviously it's a military setting, so there's characters who go by Sarge. So for the first year or two, when you search Bad Company Sarge, you would get all of my like Skyrim and Fallout videos, and also Battlefield Bad Company with Sarge.
Yeah, that one's gonna be, if you ever do rebrand, that's gonna be probably a challenge on its own. To like keep the essence of Sarge, but set it
I've also got multiple channels at this point which are Bad Company, which is almost a brand to some degree.
Just change them all to Good Company.
That's the thing. I have considered like changing before, especially because both of us don't go by like our government issue names out on the internet, which I sometimes worry that it hurts us a little bit, because we are not characters, I can't think of it, but it feels it feels less genuine, I think, at times, because we are Sarge and Caedo, as opposed to generic name 1 and generic name 2.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more of a thing for people just to go by their actual names on the internet. Whereas back in mine and Caedo's day, we were told, oh, don't give away personal information like that on the internet.
Well, I mean, that still holds today. It's just people don't give a crap.
No one does it anymore.
Because, like, the more your legal name is visible, the more dirt can be dug up on you at any point in time.
Yeah.
So especially like if you're trying to find
so much dirt.
You have so much dirt. You have so much dirty laundry.
Oh, the millions and millions of crimes we have committed under our government's name.
The skooma trade I've been into. Oops, I said that out loud.
Yeah. But it's fine, because we go by fake names, so we'll never be caught.
Yeah. Well, aside from like cranking out like a whole bunch of like video stuff, like it's been I've probably been working the hardest I have in months, just because my revenue is still dropping. Like it's getting really frustrating to see like dropping down, you know, it's under 1,000 now. Oh, now it's 800 something. I'm like, no, I need rent money.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling the fire under me to like, you know, do something a little different, but then, you know, I can go back to lists still, I guess, you know. It's, like I'm not out of ideas, but
we're both sort of half waiting for Fallout 3 New Vegas Remastered.
Yep. Which
will bump us up a bit.
And if not them, then our legacy stuff too, because that's how our legacy videos get seen.
Yeah, if neither of us make content on the new Fallout games, we still would see an increase.
Yeah.
Just because... I mean, I've even had it, like, when rumours and stuff go around about Fallout 3 on New Vegas, my beginner's guide for them just get a little increase in views, because people are suddenly like, yeah, I should play those, which is nice.
Yeah. And, I mean, when things go on sale or end up in, like, PlayStation Plus or something like that, like, I always get a little boost every once in a while from that, too.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's nice. I like to get something, you know. Over a decade of work, like to get something.
Damn. Yeah,
once in a while.
Yeah, I just checked my Ultimate Beginner's Guide for Fallout New Vegas, and it's on 72,000 views now.
Oh wow, nice.
I've made like, God, it's literally made 2 full months of what my current YouTube revenue is.
Yeah.
Because my revenue's down, but this video's doing well.
Yeah.
Damn.
some of my best performing are also like not Bethesda games at all. Like,
Yeah.
Death Stranding is still top, like, all the time.
And you get your Cyberpunk uniques. I know that's a pretty consistent one as well.
No,
for a
actually,
game you love. Oh, has it dropped down now?
Not for a long time, because I
okay.
did change... Let me go back to it, actually. I don't even get comments on it anymore.
I mean, I remember that for, like, I want to say at least a couple of years straight, that video was, like, permanently in your top 10.
It's because I put pre 1.5 in the title that people probably won't.
Caedo, you fool! Why did you give people and viewers relevant context to help them out?
Why was I being honest? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because I haven't sold my entire soul and being to the algorithm yet.
That's the mistake you made.
My bad. So, yeah, it's still getting some views. Like it's still one of my best performing of all time, but
yeah,
like, yeah, it's plateaued pretty hard since like 2023, end of 2023. So, yeah, not that one so much. But right now the number 5 is Final Fantasy Tactics Tips and Tricks, and the number 1 is Death Stranding Tips and Tricks. And then between that is my fishing uniques for Skyrim, Stones of Baron Zaya, and then 35 Star Cores in Nuka World. In between those, my legacy stuff is still performing, obviously, but it's just like across the board, like income has dropped for creators, and that sucks. That sucks really bad, because there's a reason for that, and it's morally upsetting.
Yep.
Anyway, something that's not morally upsetting, and in fact a safe space for me, is Kenshi.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thematically it's morally upsetting, but it's still
I was about
fun.
to say, morally upsetting this game where you're like, oh, I'm going to start a new character where I immediately get enslaved and have my limbs cut off.
It sounds like you've played Kenshi before, Sarge.
No, I've just
heard
listened
me
to you
yap about it a lot.
Yeah. And it's also one of the games that occasionally Caedo gets like really into a game that I don't play. And it'll typically be like before a PIPCAST recording where he's already playing it and goes, oh, can I show you this? Can I show you this? Can I show you? And he'll just screen share. And there'll be like 10-15 minutes of me basically watching this game that he's really invested into, and I have either never played or played like 10 minutes of tops.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
it gives me a lot of secondhand knowledge.
So this time, I decided to play as a Hiver drone, which have notoriously tough heads because they're meant to be like the fighters of like you see an ant colony, like the guardians of the ant colony or whatever. They're kind of like that. Tough heads, they can't get knocked out very easily. And so I went, and started my adventure in the cannibal start, which is you're immediately in danger, and cannibals are going to eat you.
Yep.
And you have to escape.
Yeah.
You start with 2 characters, though, and one of them is a human I named Meat.
Cool. I could make up stuff about Kenshi. Just, like, off the top of my head, just give you a dystopian nightmare scenario and probably convince you that I was actually playing the game.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just if I go, oh, well, I left an entire village to die because they were slightly too far away from the base, but then I went and got the meat that was left over, you'd be like, yeah, that sounds like Kenshi. I believe you've been playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, like, I made friends with the Shinobi Thieves, which are basically the smugglers and thieves guild of Kenshi, but I committed a crime and then ran into their tower that was in like the trade city. So the guards started fighting all of them too.
Love it.
So they became enemies of each other across the map. So I went to another United Cities colony and they were already murdering the hell out of the Shinobi Thieves. And I'm like, uh-oh, I have killed all of my allies.
But you get to loot their corpses.
But you get to loot their corpses if they don't get arrested immediately. Yes. Yeah. Lots of fun. Fun game. Fun stuff. And to remove my limbs this time, I went to the Fogmen, which are another type of cannibal. They're Hiver cannibals, where they bind you to a pole and then they just eat your limbs while you're there. Cool. So that's how I removed my arms on this playthrough. Anyway, fun game.
Yeah. You have possibly the grossest comfort game.
Sarge loves cannibal perk and cannibal themes. He loves them. If you know anything about Sarge's lore, It's his favorite thing. But you got to make a tabletop game about it, Sarge.
You know what? I've drafted up so many different TTRPGs and come up with so many stories and stuff, and I've never had a cannibal. Just never in there. And it's not even something I've considered briefly. Like, I've dealt with a lot of really dark themes in some of the stuff I've drafted up, some of the books I've started writing, stuff like that. Technically, one book I started writing had a cannibal character. One. And that is out of, like, hundreds that I've come up with ideas for. It is, yeah, it's just something I seem to avoid for some reason.
Well, darn it.
Mm-hmm.
More for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, what have you been doing besides not writing about cannibals?
Yeah, well, let's start with the sad news, which is my computer broke at the start of this week.
No!
Yeah, it was playing up a bit funny. I think part of it's on me, because while it just, like, started not working and not responding, like, games wouldn't boot up and things wouldn't load properly, I tried to shut it down, and it just kept doing, like, a circle of, can't shut down yet, can't shut down yet. And I was tired and annoyed. I'd been working for, like, several hours in the heat at that point. So I just turned it off at the power thingy, and I think that did some damage to it as well. So, a little bit on me. But it's fine, because it seems to have worked okay for this recording.
Yeah.
So this is the first bit of work I've done since Monday, because I just haven't really been able to use the computer. It seems to be working now. I replaced the motherboard battery. That seemed to help out a lot, because it just fully wouldn't load at one point. My RAM doesn't seem broken, which was something I googled and could have been a problem, but it seems to be working, which is very good, because RAM is insanely expensive right now.
Yeah, don't want to buy more of that.
Nope. But one thing I did have to buy was an SSD, because I bought an SSD a few years back for, like, Starfield when that came out, and that is the one thing which fully just broke in the computer.
Oh.
Yeah.
What brand was it, if I can ask?
Bilksum? Is that the brand? I don't know what the brand is.
Oh, okay.
It's not like some fancy big one. But I did a lot of research this time around, and on literally every SSD on every brand, I saw the same one-star reviews, essentially, which were, oh, it broke immediately, or it broke after this much time, and it just seems to be, like, a risk with any of them that they can break.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's none that are 100% safe.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating.
I'm just stuck with what's worked for
yeah,
like years for me at this point, and I get Samsung ones because they have none of them have broken down. So
yeah,
if people are looking for recommendations on expensive things to put their gold into thematically.
Yeah. Here's the annoying thing: the SSD I bought like a few years back cost like £38 or something like that. Like it was on the cheaper end. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm getting like a super budget SSD. It was still just like fairly cheap. Now I've spent about £100 on this new one for what is essentially exactly the same. It's not technically the same product because they just don't stock for like 40 quid one now. But this 100 quid one is basically the same specs and stuff. Like, it really doesn't seem any different. It's not a big name brand like Samsung or anything, which maybe I should have splashed out on a Samsung one. It's a bit more reliable, maybe, but it's maybe every time.
I mean, yeah, like I was saying, that's just from my own personal experience. Yeah. Is like I haven't had any issues with them at all. And it's been since like 2012 I've been getting the Samsung SSDs. And it's
I mean, I didn't have any issues until I immediately did, and it just completely broke, which was annoying.
No, most of the time that's how it works. You don't until you do.
Yeah. But yeah, I've now spent basically all the money that my channel's making this month on the SSD and getting my computer fixed up. And it also means that I'm behind on work, like, the second I started getting back on track, which is very frustrating. This year has been terrible. I've vented a few times over on Blue Sky, because it does just feel like... I think I've had, like, a 3-day maximum on things going, not even well, just okay this year. Like, I even mentioned to Caedo, I sprained my ankle in my sleep. Yeah. Like, last night. Just managed to do that.
Makes me wonder, like what is happening when you're asleep?
I'm just cursed. I'm just cursed. That's all.
That's... K-Doom's supposed to be cursed, Sarge.
And I am too.
Oh.
I am so looking forward to 2026 being over, because this is just not my year.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have a silver lining in one of the remasters happening.
Yeah, I do really hope things at least brighten up for the autumn. But hey, while I'm on a Moni train, I also want to talk about Dragon's Dogma, which I got on like my Xbox a little while ago, because it's one of those games that I've played through the opening like probably 4 or 5 times at this point, and it seems really cool. To me, it's kind of like almost what I wish Monster Hunter was. Because I like the idea behind Monster Hunter, you know, the hunting monsters side of things.
Yes.
But Monster Hunter tends to be very level-based, so you just get transported to this one
it's more
limited level.
Mission-based.
Yeah, you do the mission. The version we played, which was Worlds?
Monster Hunter World. Yeah.
Monster Hunter also has the problem with there's so many games that a lot of them sound similar now.
The new one is MHW as well, so that's going to be fun and confusing.
But yeah, the one we played felt like it was more balanced for multiplayer as well, where I'm mostly a single-player person. Like, I'm sure you can play through it single-player, but...
It's not nearly as fun.
No. And, for me, Dragon's Dogma seemed like, you get to fight these giant monsters, you have, like, your pawns who are the followers you have on your team, and you can customize them a little bit, which is very cool. And you're in this big open world, and it's an actual RPG, so you've got story and characters you can meet and stuff, and it just felt like what I wish Monster Hunter was. I don't like Dragon's Dogma.
I love the build-up, Sarge. You had me going.
It's like I enjoyed it for a while, and I put like 40 or 50 hours into this playthrough. I want to make that clear. This isn't like, oh, I once again just did the opening and then didn't like it. No, I properly explored.
You committed.
There's a lot of elements I do enjoy, but it also, I think it's not very good as like an interesting narrative RPG in any way. Like, exploration can be quite fun and uncovering stuff, until you then start realizing that, like, the same few monsters show up over and over and over again.
Yep.
And then there are just a handful of, not even supposed to be unique monsters, but just monsters that you just don't see. And yeah, I don't love the skill systems and stuff. The leveling up and whatnot just doesn't feel rewarding. There's a lot of minor gripes, but I think a couple of the major gripes I have are the characters aren't good, they're just not well written or interesting. Like, there's just nothing going on with them for the most part.
They have, if I remember correctly, because it has been a good while since I played through Dragon's Dogma, I remember all of the characters kind of having this Capcom-itis where they were like all in this uncanny realm of interacting with the player and telling the story and stuff like that, where I could not connect with what was happening on screen at all.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's also the case of, I know there's one character whose name I've forgotten, because you do a few quests kind of with him, and he actually gives you a choice of, are you going to kill this person we found on the enemy team, or are you going to let them go free where they might warn others, warn the bad guys about what's going on? And he has reactions to that, and I was like, oh, this is quite an interesting dilemma. We get like this kind of shady character who's on our side, but only likes us if we're willing to be a bit shady too. And then immediately after that mission, you basically never have to talk to him again.
Yeah, and they're just there for that.
Yeah,
that moment.
They're just set dressing.
Yeah.
And that happens with so many characters. There's, it's not a major spoiler, but it is a bit of a spoiler. At Dragon's Dogma, a game where a dragon shows up at the very start and kicks everything off, you have to deal with the dragon towards the end. And the dragon will have kidnapped your beloved. And that is a, like, technical term for the game. And they basically pick the character that you had the highest affinity with once you trigger a certain quest. And they kidnap that person, and saving them and stuff is a whole option you have to do and whatnot. For me, they kidnapped a character I spoke to twice.
Yeah, I vaguely remember having almost no connection to the person I'm supposed to rescue as well.
So little connection to this person, because the person, for me, was the Duke's wife. Apparently, the story tells you they've been married a few days. She asked, her like servant was like, oh, the Duchess, whatever the actual title is there. She wants to talk to you, and I was like, cool, I got a quest to pick up. Went to go find her, And then it acts like it's this torrid affair you're having, and I'm like, no, lady, I showed up to get a quest.
Ooh, saucy Sarge.
But you go to her room, and it's like, oh, you've gone to the Duchess's room, have you? And I'm like, yeah, there's a mission marker here. I just showed up to get a quest. I've gone to so many people's houses and stuff just to, like,
oh my,
ask them
a
what they
big
need
strong
done.
hero in my room, completing objectives.
And then the Duke is about to come in, so you have to be ushered away. And then the Duke, like, starts strangling her and stuff, and I'm like, geez, this has got real dark, and I have no idea what's going on. And then it turns out you do actually have the option just to walk away, which is wild. But I stopped the whole encounter, because the Duke as well seems like a proper villain, but you get so little characterization for him. And you can't do anything. There's no choices you get to make. Because one big problem as well is you're a silent protagonist. And not in the way of, like, Bethesda games where you have a bunch of dialogue options and get to actually interact. But
like
in a way...
properly silent.
Yeah, there's one point in the game where you can be, like, branded a traitor, and people start being like, oh, this is a traitor, they're going to attack us and stuff. And your character is in the cutscenes just not saying anything and not defending themselves.
Which is a Monster Hunter trope as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, you're just a mercenary in the cutscenes. You're just a guy that's there.
At least in Monster Hunter, you're not constantly being accused of being a traitor to the kingdom, and then you just stand still and do nothing. Like, it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Princess, Duchess, whatever as well. I think I pretty much told you the entire interactions I had with her as well, in that short little description.
Yeah.
Although basically, I didn't let her get strangled in front of me. And the game was like, yep, that's the highest affinity character. Cool.
Yeah.
And actually, I will say Sir Mercedes is the one character I can mention by name and be like, she has a personality. Because you fight against the Hydra with her at the start of the game, you go to Grand Sorum with her, there's a bit of build-up there. She has, like, this whole mini-story to her where she kind of... It's revealed that she's maybe been sent because she's, like, the least prestigious and weakest member of her family from the neighbouring region, and her father didn't want to send anyone better than her, basically. She was half expendable, and there's a bit of story going on, and then she immediately leaves. It's like, the second any story starts to happen with any of the characters, they just leave.
Sick.
But yeah, I did the whole dragon fight, which I thought would be the final boss, which also didn't feel that great because I'd recently finished the Crown of the Sunken King DLC in Dark Souls 2, which has quite a good dragon fight. Like, I was very happy with that. I was like, oh damn, I had to change my tactics, I had to figure things out. I died like 4 times, which I know Dark Souls died 4 times doesn't sound like it's that bad. But if you've listened to me talk about my Dark Souls stuff or seen any of my Dark Souls videos, you'll know I beat most bosses on the first try, and if not on the first try, on the second try. Like, I very rarely die to Dark Souls bosses.
Sarge is a professional gamer, you guys. Professional gamer. I play Dark Souls incredibly cautiously, whereas I know most of the community is like, I'll have a big two-handed sword, run around naked, and just hope I perfectly dodge roll every attack I've never seen before. Whereas I'm like, I'll have a shield that blocks 100% of physical attacks, and use that and learn their patterns, and then figure out when I can get a single hit in. It's, yeah. But, no, the dragon boss fight in Dragon's Dogma, it wasn't bad. It tried to be cinematic, I appreciated what it tried to do. But then there's way more content afterwards. There's like 4 or 5 main quests afterwards, and a lot of it is grinding for wake stones, which are ultra rare items, and you need like 20 of them. And each dungeon you complete, you get like 1 or 2, maybe. And I just couldn't be bothered at that point. No, I stopped at the same time.
I was just so done.
I stopped the exact same time. I was like, wait, the credits rolled. Wait, I thought I was done. I'm tired.
Yeah. Like, you get the ending, there's a bit of an epilogue, but then the epilogue turns into this massive grind.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous. There were several times I got angry with the game and, like, threw my controller, which I could do because I lay in bed playing, so I'm just able to throw out the duvet. But, yeah, that's the most recent game I have fully, like, rage quit out of. But...
Wow.
Now I can talk about games I actually enjoy. I do apologise, I'm going quite a bit over time on this, but I've played a lot of games recently. I was gifted by Red Gyarados, who's probably listening. Hey! I was gifted Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon, because Steam on Steam you can now gift games to people who aren't on your friends list and stuff. And they realised that Tainted Grail was on sale for like 50% off or something.
Ooh.
And I believe they've actually... Was it them? I think it was them who commented on the PIPCAST being like, hey, I'm surprised you guys didn't talk about Tainted Grail. And we were both like, we've not played it. I've played it now. It good.
Oh, good. Good to hear.
It really good. There are a lot of ways where it feels like a Skyrim or Oblivion. It's got a lot of like the same skill leveling, a lot of similar mechanics and stuff. But it also feels very much like its own thing. And it's in the whole Tainted Grail world, which is sort of Arthurian legend meets Eldritch horror.
Dark Arthurian legend.
Yeah, it works so well. There's like mist that sends people insane. At the very start of the game, you basically have like this unique plague, and you're in a dungeon which has like these cultists, but like more, I suppose it's more like a religion. They're like red priests or something, who are experimenting in awful ways using like the weirdness, but they're trying to solve the plague. And even as they are the villains who you're escaping from, there is this whole thing of, yes, they're doing something very bad, but is it worth it if they're able to stop the plague? And there's immediately like depth and intrigue, and not every red priest you come across in the dungeon is necessarily hostile, which is interesting. Like, there's at least one you can just talk to, which, yeah, it has all the lack of depth in Dragon's Dogma. There's so much depth in Tainted Grail. It also has crafting skills you can level up. The magic system's a lot of fun. I originally was like, oh, I'll go down the Stealth Archer route, and ditched that before I'd even left the tutorial area, because I was like, oh damn, there's really cool like Spellblade stuff going on. It's a really good game. Like, there is so much I could compliment about it. It is a little bit janky, I will say that. It's clearly like a AA rather than a AAA sort of game. But it's super fun. And if you are someone looking for like a fantasy RPG, if you've got tired of your 500th Skyrim playthrough, then I definitely recommend Fall of Avalon. It's so good. And just quickly, I want to mention a couple other games I've been playing on Xbox and had a lot of fun with. Borderlands the pre-sequel, the much unloved Borderlands entry. I recently finished another playthrough as a Wilhelm on the Xbox. And it's a game I'm able to play whilst listening to podcasts, which is the big thing about it.
Yes, podcast game.
Yeah, I can just kind of blast through a bunch of enemies with cool lasers and sniper rifles and SMGs while listening to Mum Can't Cook is the podcast I've been working my way through lately, which is all about Disney Channel original movies. So I've been hearing Luke Westaway and Andy Farrant, who many of you will be aware of if you've watched like Outside Xbox and stuff in the past, of them just talking about like High School Musical and stuff and recapping the entire film while pointing out weird undertones and stuff in it. And yeah, that's a lot of fun. I've also played Hard West, which is the XCOM-like game. Well done, everyone who waited 2 hours for that to come back
Sarge.
up. Yeah, it's a cowboy game, but it does the thing that a lot of cowboy games do, where they have like a dark magic system going on, but it's always the same sort of theme. And I wasn't aware of this with Westerns, but it's very common to have like the Four Horsemen and like dark magical stuff like shadows and not obvious, I shoot a fireball, but more sort of, there's a creeping magic in the world which lingers and whatnot.
Yeah.
That seems to be very common.
There was, it's like, I think it was like 4 years ago or something like that, where there was just a bunch of these like themed cowboy games that came out like all at the same time or close to the same time, and this was one of them. Yeah, I mean, I know it's something that's existed for quite a while as well in more minor ways, because even like Red Dead Redemption, the first one, had like the devil or death or something show up in the game, but in a not obvious way. Yeah.
There's often been this like otherworldly stuff to Westerns, which I wasn't that aware of, despite being a fan of Western movies.
Yeah.
But when you're watching like spaghetti Westerns, it doesn't show up that much.
Yeah, like anything else, it's got its own folklore and stuff like that too.
Yeah. But the whole, dark folklore sort of stuff is super cool in Hard West. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It plays very similar to like XCOM style games, where it's like action point management and doing different loadouts, and you have a team that you build up and you don't want to lose them. But where it's very dark and grim and all of that stuff, you will lose people.
Yeah, like XCOM.
I haven't lost anyone in combat. This is one other thing I like, which is the percentage chances, like if it's over 50%, you're actually more likely to hit than miss. Whereas I feel like XCOM has a thing of, oh, well, it's 82%, that's pretty much a guaranteed fail. Just, I don't know what it is, but anytime I played XCOM, it just feels like there's permanently like a, you have to halve the percentage, and that's what
It sounds like you got to use more explosives than XCOM, Sarge.
To be fair, I probably wouldn't have gone with explosives. I would have gone with like ice stuff. Oh, as well, something Bethesda can learn from is this game goes up to 100%. It doesn't like cap out at 90 or 95 or anything.
Oh.
It's like, I picked up like the elephant gun, which is a sniper you can have, and it can get like 100%, especially with like an aim shot, which uses 2 action points rather than 1, but it's going to hit, which is, it's just nice. It's a way to actually land your shots, and especially if you set things up in the right way, you don't then just get really unlucky. But yeah, I'm loving Hard West. It doesn't look like a particularly long game, but I picked it up very cheap, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
We did it, Caedo. We recorded a podcast, and I talked so much in it.
We did it, the podcast. Okay, well, if you think there are things you should never spend gold on in Skyrim that were not mentioned and that actually make sense, please leave them in the comments. And also, I don't know, maybe some topic ideas. There's all kinds of things to talk about when it comes to open world games. And I mean, I did grab a TheGamer article because I didn't feel like thinking with my brain. So
Same.
And I feel like Sarge didn't need to anyway. Didn't want to. So leave those comments. You can become a comment of the cast, and we hope to see you in the next episode in a couple of weeks on the next PIPCAST 3000 every other Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.